What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Today I've got an underused match. I figure I've been doing a lot of NU and PU, so I threw together this UU team just to kind of see how it would do. I brought back some homies like Registeel, had to bring the fat ass Snorlax along with some stuff. I've never actually used a Primarina, I don't think, in underused, so I brought Specs Primarina. Also, I had to bring back Mega Beedrill just because this thing's so damn fun to use, but let's go ahead and just get right into the battle here. So, I decided to lead off with my Mega Beedrill. Can you bring out the old shiny fork? Shout out to Vietnamese Crystal Nuzlocke. And I just want to get a nice little U-turn off because I don't know what he's going to want to lead off with. But he throws out the pointiest pupper in all the land as I'm just going to go ahead and Mega Evolve here as he Megas as well, telling me he is going to stay in. So, I am obviously going to be faster because there's not a whole lot that's faster than Mega Beedrill because I'm a speedy-ass fork. So he goes ahead and gets extra pointy, which does intimidate me, which is annoying. U-turn is still going to do a nice chunk of damage, though, which is awesome. So I go ahead and Mega Evolve myself, and it's actually kind of interesting as to why I Mega Evolve after. You would think that since I'm faster, I would go first, but doesn't really matter there, as I get a nice little U-turn off, and I figure he's probably going to go for... I'm thinking Volt Switch, because when you do go for the pivot move after you get the momentum. So I decided to switch into my Donphan here because I'm expecting the electric attack, and he does actually end up going for the Thunderbolt instead. So now I've got a good matchup here, and I'm actually just going to go right for a Earthquake, I believe, as he's going to bring in the Swampert. I figured he might stay in with the Manectric, trying to get a Hidden Power Grass off, but he does want to conserve that thing because it is really useful for the later game. So the Earthquake's going to land on the little pink pert. It does a decent amount of damage there, as at this point, he's probably going to go for the Stealth Rock, so I have a pretty much free switch here, and I decide to go into my Primarina here. So the Sugar Mama, the Water Sugar Mama comes in, and he does end up going for the Stealth Rock. So I got a free switch there, and he doesn't really have a whole lot that wants to come in on a Specs Primarina, so he's going to go over there, eat some leftovers, and he's probably feeling pretty confident that he might be able to take an attack if I'm not Specs, but I'm just going to go right for a Hydro Pump and blast this thing right in the old face, and that is going to knock out the Swampert, which is fantastic. So Primarina already picking up a KO, and I actually really do like using this thing in underused. It is pretty damn effective, and it hits like a truck. So now he brings in the Manectric, and as I'm thinking about it, last time against the Manectric, I switched into Donphan, and he's probably going to expect that going for the Hidden Power Grass. So predicting that, I'm going to switch into my shiny old Doorknob here, who is max special defense, so I can handle really, anything this thing wants to throw at me, as he does end up going for the Hidden Power Grass, which is perfect, as I eat that up really nicely, and then I go ahead and eat some apples. So as I'm looking at this matchup here, I don't really have a whole lot to do to this thing, but I know I can take an overheat. So he goes for that, and the max HP and special defense comes in clutch because that's not going to do a whole lot, and then especially after the special attack drop, he's not going to be able to really touch me, and this allows me to get up my Stealth Rock for free. So that's fantastic. It's always nice to have some rocks around. And so I'm thinking he's definitely going to want to switch out here because another overheat doesn't knock me out, and he does want to conserve that Manectric. So I'm just going to go for a Toxic, try to land on whatever he wants to bring in, as he is going to end up going into the Goodra here. So I believe I missed my Toxic this first turn, which is really unfortunate. Missing Toxics is just really annoying, especially because I would really like to see this Goodra poisoned because it's just going to make it a whole lot easier in the long run to take care of. So I'm actually just going to stay in and go for another one, as I do actually land it this time, which is fantastic. So I do get the poison on this thing, and he's actually going to end up going for a Dragon Tail. So that doesn't really scratch me, but it is going to send in my Snorlax here. And this is kind of interesting. My mindset here was he's either going to switch out or he's going to try to maybe hit me with an attack. Either way, I'm just going to decide to go for a Curse, get that attack up, and then I will be able to knock this thing out with an Ice Punch after that with the attack boost. So I'm just going to go for a Curse here, get that attack and defense nice and boosted, as he is going to actually end up going for a Dragon Tail. So that does kind of suck. He's going to go ahead and get them stat boost the fuck on out of there, as it is going to end up bringing in my Chandelure, which does suck because, I don't really have anything to do with this thing. They're so specially defensive, and, Chandelure just does not have any business against a damn Goodra. But the poison damage is racking up, so I'm expecting him to probably want to go for another Dragon Tail here, and I do still have my Fairy, so I can go ahead and block that, as I'm just going to switch right into my Primarina yet again, as this time he actually ends up throwing some shit water right at my face, and I'm like, Goodra, that's just disgusting. So, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It gets a critical hit, though, as he's really starting to take the toll on the Toxic there. So I'm just going to go right for a nice little Moonblast here, as he does have Sludge Bomb, and I was kind of worried about that, but I am actually able to live it nicely, and then a Moonblast will be able to take care of the Goodra. So good to see you, gone Gudra, and that's just another one down, so that is perfect. Although, unfortunately, Primarina doesn't have enough health to really do much here, as he's gonna bring in the Zygarde on the free switch in here. So, like I said, Primarina's slow as shit, and you know I don't have enough health to really do much, so I decided to just sack this thing off, as this thing is gonna finish me off with 1,000 arrows. But Primarina definitely did her job, so I am proud of you. So. Now I get to bring in whatever I want, and I decide this is a good time to bring in Tubby, because I know that I can take at least 1,000 arrows, and then I can likely finish this thing off with an Ice Punch, which for some reason I have Ice Punch on my Snorlax. It's mainly just for like Gliscors and stuff, but it works perfect against Zygarde, as I'm barely able to live that 1,000 arrows, and then an Ice Punch is definitely going to knock out that pupper. So down goes that thing, and that was perfect, but I did kind of pay the price in like pretty much my whole Snorlax, so I'll count that as a fair trade though, because that Zygarde could have definitely been a problem. So now he brings in the Rock, Paper, Scizor, and as I'm looking at it here, I kind of want to conserve Snorlax for Death Fodder later, so I'm just going to switch into my Chandelure here, thinking that I might be able to take 2 bullet punches if he decides to go for that, but I kind of just underestimated the Stealth Rock damage, and 2 bullet punches is definitely going to be able to knock me out. Maybe this thing is max attack, I guess maybe I wasn't thinking it was, but that's kind of a misplay on my end, as I waste my Chandelure there, as he's just able to go for 1 more bullet punch. So down goes that thing, so that kind of sucks. Although, as I'm looking at the matchup, you know, Chandelure wasn't all that useful against the rest of his team, and this now allows me a free switch into my Donphan here. So I'm just going to go right for an Earthquake, trying to get as much damage as possible. I really need to whittle down that Scizor, because once that thing is taken care of, or once it's at like 40%, it's looking like a Beedrill can kind of clean up here. So I just go for an Earthquake, as he's going to bring in the Comfey. And this is not something I see very often, but it turns out that these things are actually pretty damn viable in Underused. They have the ability where it makes their attacking moves like +3 priority, so it goes before everything, and it's Draining Kiss, so it's able to It's able to take advantage of that, which is nice. So he's actually going to end up going for a Calm Mind, but I still have a specially defensive Registeel on my team with Iron Head, so I figure this shouldn't be too bad of a matchup. I mean, it's a tiny-ass freaking flower necklace against a massive, you know, ball of steel, so I figure, you know, this shouldn't be too bad, as I'm over here eating some leftovers, and now he's just gonna go for a Draining Kiss, I guess, just to see how much damage it's gonna do, but it does like 7 damage, and Registeel is kind of just able to laugh that one off, as I go for an Iron Head, and it's not gonna do enough damage, unfortunately. I don't have any attack investment on this thing. It was supposed to be Seismic Toss, but I wasn't able to actually get my hands on one of those, so I put Iron Head instead, as now he's going to go for the Synthesis, and I'm like, well shit, this is not really working out too well for me, because my Iron Head's really not doing too much, so I should probably try to get a Toxic on that thing. It's kind of my best bet. I went for 1 more Iron Head. I kind of forgot these things even got Synthesis, because like I said, you know, who uses Comfey, honestly? But yeah, so in this turn I'm going to go for a Toxic, as he's just going to Synthesis again, bring him about to full, and I'm like, shit, am I going to have some trouble with this thing or what? But I do still have the Mega Beedrill, so I'm not really all that worried about it. I kind of just need a free time to bring that thing in. But then again, I realize that Draining Kiss is definitely this thing's its only attacking move, so I can probably bring Beedrill in for free, seeing as I resist the shit out of Draining Kiss. It only has +1 in special attack, so it shouldn't be too bad, as he's actually going to end up switching out here, and he's going to go back into the Manectric, as he's going to intimidate me, because, you know, those pointy things are, you know, kind of scary and a little intimidating. So, you know, now that I think about it, I actually have the wrong ability on this Registeel. I have Light Metal rather than Clear Body. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I guess, because the Intimidate doesn't make, you know, too big of a difference. But yeah, so I'm over here eating some leftovers, and I know that he's probably just going to want to go for an Overheat or something, so I'm going to switch out. I decide to bring in my Snorlax, essentially just to sack it off. I hope that he goes for the Overheat, just for the special attack drop, as he does, and it turned out to be kind of worthwhile to conserve my Snorlax earlier. So that worked out as a perfect death fodder, as now he's not going to be able to hit nearly as hard, and now I can bring in whatever I want, and I decide to go into my Mega Beedrill, and Fork has just been chilling there waiting for his moment. So I do have Drill Run on this thing, so I'm just going to go for that. I don't want to go for a U-turn, just because I have really no reason to. So I go for the Drill Run, as he's going to bring in the Scizor. After some Stealth Rock damage, it's looking like Drill Run is going to be a 2-hit KO, but I really don't want Beedrill to take a Bullet Punch here, risking the critical hit. I know that I can live it, but it's just a matter of I wouldn't be able to actually come in on some more Stealth Rock. So I'm just going to switch right into my full health Donphan, as he does go for the Bullet Punch, and since I'm actually, I think I'm max HP in attack, so I'm pretty bulky, and I can take that nicely. And now this Beedrill, or this Scizor is at the point where I shouldn't have too much of a problem with it, as he's just going to go for another bullet punch here. I'm able to take that nicely, and an Earthquake is going to finish off the Scizor, so that is a big threat finally out of the way. So now his remaining 2 Pokemon are going to be the Mega Manectric and the Flower Necklace. So considering I do still have my Mega Beedrill in the back of the team who can cut me in a couple more times on Stealth Rock, I should be okay, as he's now going to bring in the Manectric again, intimidates me, and I'm like, you know what, I have Ice Shard, and I might as well just go for it and hope that it knocks this thing out. So even after the Intimidate, Ice Shard is actually going to be able to take this thing out. So down goes the pointiest dog, and that is perfect. So now he's just down to that freaking Comfey. And Donphan's over here looking pretty damn healthy at about half HP, and things are going swimmingly. So he brings in the choker, and he's not going to be choking anything today, as it is poisoned, and there's kind of not really a whole lot of hope. But he is going to go for one more Draining Kiss. It's going to actually really do nothing to me, as I'm just going to kind of fire off some Earthquakes at this thing. I know that he has Synthesis, but he can kind of stay in on that all day, as the toxic damage is going to rack up. And I'm actually just going to speed this battle up really fast, because there's not really a whole lot that goes down. Essentially, this thing's just going to Calm Mind, and then he like Synthesises as I'm just firing off some Earthquakes. Kind of just waiting for Donphan to die or knock this thing out, so that way I can bring in my Mega Beedrill. But he goes for one more Draining Kiss, which knocks me down to 7 HP. I actually live it. I went for the Ice Shard, but then I realized that, hey, this thing has even priority over Ice Shard, so I was like, holy shit. As one more Draining Kiss is going to finish me off, and the Poison knocks him down to like 5 HP, but I have my Mega Fork, and a Poison Jab is going to knock this thing out, as he does go first because of the priority on Draining Kiss, but even with a critical hit, it's not going to be able to do enough damage to Mega Beedrill, and Fork is going to go ahead and fork this thing up with a Poison Jab. So that is going to be the end of the match there. That was a pretty damn good one. It turns out that when I play Underused, the battles last a whole lot longer. I don't know what it is about it, but it was really fun, and I've been having a good time with Underused lately. So go ahead and hit that like button on this video if you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe for some more Wi-Fi battles. Peace out.